Hello friend, I am Ghanshyam and welcome all of you to the electric neuron. Today we are going to discuss about the KCL and KVL, that is Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. In the previous lectures we have already discussed about the current sources and voltage sources. What are the ideal current sources, what are the ideal voltage sources, all of those are discussed in the previous lectures. So from today we are going to study about the law and the theorem. Okay, so those are very important to your examination like university examination and also your examination like railway, SSC or assistant engineering. So before starting our video lectures, I want to tell you that if you like the video, then subscribe to this channel and also share to this, so that you will get immediate notification whenever I will upload a new video. So let's get started our video. So this is the first Kirchhoff's current law. So what is Kirchhoff's current law? We have already studied current, electron, voltage, all those things, resistance, all those things we have already discussed. So why we are going to discuss this Kirchhoff's current law? Because to solve a complex network, to solve a looped network, we use the Kirchhoff's current law or Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay. So see here, the Kirchhoff's current law work based on the principle of law of conservation of charge. Okay, so it is also known as the conservation of charge, law of conservation of charge. Kirchhoff's current law is also known as the law of conservation of charge. Please remember that. Or the definition of Kirchhoff's current law is that KCL states that algebraic sum of the current meeting at a point is equal to 0. Okay. So please remember this definition so that you will be able to write your question paper. Okay. So see here, this is the one figure given by me. Here I1 and I2, I3, I4 and I5, I6 current are given. So here see, the I1 current is inward and I2 current is inward and I3 current is outward, I4 current is inward and I5 current is also inward and I6 current is also outward. So see, this is the node. So the definition of node is when two elements are connected together. So see, that means two elements I1 or I2 connected together here. So this is our common point. Okay, so this common point is also called as a simple node. So this is also called as a simple node. Or see here, this is the point here, and this element, or see here, this element and this element, all these three elements are connected to this point. So this is also another type of node. Or see here, this element resistance and another element here is voltage sources. So resistance and voltage sources are connected to a point, that is the another node. Okay, so those are called the simple node. So let's see the principal node. When more than two elements are connected together, see here, there is no more than two elements. So here only two elements are connected. So here see, at the point of V1, the three elements connected, resistance Rs with resistance R1 and resistance R3. So three elements are connected at a point V1. So this P1 point is called as a principal node, or this S1 point, S2 point, S3 point, these 3 points are called as the which node? Simple node. Okay, so that's why I am denoting here S1, S2 and S3, or this node and this P2 node I am denoting as a principal node. Okay, so according to the Kirchhoff's current law, all the current sources or all these current sources meeting at a node or meeting at a point is equal to 0. Summation of that is algebraically, I have already told you that, is equal to 0. Summation of all the current meeting at a point is equal to 0. So let add all these things. So I am taking here, see, I am taking here the incoming current I1, I2, I4 and I5 as a positive. So incoming, in means positive or outgoing means negative. So for incoming current I am taking as a positive sign, or outgoing I am taking as a negative sign. Okay, so let add, see here, I1 plus I2, and this I3 is outgoing node or outgoing current, so that's why I am denoting as a minus. Okay, so I4 is incoming, I5 is also incoming, so I4 and I5 is denoted as a positive sign, so they are added to this. Okay, so here the I6 is outgoing, that's why I am denoting as a minus sign. So after adding all those things you will get 0. Okay, so that's why that equal to 0. So it is clear to you, the simple node and principal node. Okay, so now see the current division technique. See, if voltage sources is connected with resistance parallel manner, then only we can find the or put the current division rule, otherwise we cannot apply this rule. So this rule is not valid in the series, okay, series network. So see here the resistance R1 and R2 are in parallel connection, that's why for equivalent resistance 1 divided by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R plus 1 by R2. So equivalent resistance is equal to R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Okay, or see the current here flowing I current, that is divided two part, in the resistance R1 and in the resistance R2. In the resistance R1 I1 amount of current will flow across there, and in the resistance R2 I2 amount of current will flow across there. So total current I1 plus I2 is equal to total current I. So if we want to find the current across the resistance R1, then this is the formula, the total current into opposite arm resistance. That means if we want to find the current across here, that means opposite arm resistance is this R2. So multiply R2 with the current source I. So I into R2 divided by total resistance, that means how much amount of current are parallel in nature, so that much amount of resistance are added in the denominator side. Okay, so this is the one formula. If we want to find the I2 current, then total current into opposite arm resistance, that one is R1 divided by total resistance R1 plus R2. See here I have already mentioned all these things. Okay, no need to write, so please take a screenshot. I think you have done. Now see here, in case of inductance also, it is behave like a resistance. So the property are same in this current division rule. So this voltage sources is connected in parallel manner of the two inductance. So current will be divided I1 and I2 current. Like that in resistance case, here also if you want to find the current across L1, then I into opposite arm inductance L2 divided by total inductance L1 plus L2. Like that if you want to find the I2 current, then total current into opposite arm resistance, that one is L1 divided by total inductance L1 plus L2. Okay, so got it? If you are not able to understand, then please write on the comment section, then I will solve your queries. Okay, now see the capacitor case. See here one voltage source which is connected to two capacitors, they are parallel in nature. So the behavior of resistance, inductance and capacitance, resistance, inductance are same, but here capacitance is different. So equivalent capacitance in case of the series, then this type of equation will be formed, or in case of parallel, then this type of equation they can add it to each other. Okay, you have already know in your basic. So now the current I will be divided in two parts, I1 and I2. So for I1 current it is opposite to like the resistance and inductance. Okay, so if we want to find the I1 current, then total current multiplication with the same capacitance divided by total capacitance, that one is our formula. Okay, so like that, to find the current across I capacitance 2. I2 is equal to total current I divided by what? Total current I into that amount of capacitance divided by total capacitance. See here, all those things are calculated by me. Okay, no need to calculate. So it is clear to you. Now see, for n resistance connected in parallel, so here another case, there is resistance R1, R2 and n number of resistance are connected in parallel manner. So what can be our actual answer, or what is the actual formula of that? So we need to see that I amount of current is flowing from the sources Vs here, and that current will be divided here, here, and nth number of resistance. So nth number of current will be divided to each branch. Okay, so total, if we want to find the current across here, then total current, that is I into that resistance or opposite term resistance, so that for opposite term resistance divided by total resistance. So to calculate this, after calculating all these things, we will get this term in the last part. Okay, so I1 is equal to total current I into 1 by R1 divided by 1 by R1 plus R2 plus 1 up to 1 by Rn. Okay, so it is also clear to you. If not clear, then ask me on the comment section. Okay, so now comes to the KVL. What is KVL? Why we need this KVL equation or KVL formula or this law? This law, this is very important. Okay, so this law we need because we need to solve all these things. What are the voltage, what are the voltage source connected to a network. So we need to find, if we want to find one voltage source from a looped network, then we need this KVL formula or KVL equation or KVL law. So the KVL, that is Kirchhoff's voltage law. So Kirchhoff's voltage law is also known as the conservation of energy. Okay, so it is also known as the conservation of energy, or the actual definition of KVL is, KVL state that algebraic sum of voltage in a closed loop is equal to 0. Please remember that definition so that you will be able to write in your question paper on your university exam. Okay, so this may also be asked on your MCQ type answer. So this is the definition. See here, one voltage source which is connected to the parallel resistance. I have already told you in this case, in this case KCL or the current division rule, here the resistance or inductance capacitance are connected in parallel, but here in this case the resistance are in series manner, so that we will be divided the voltage sources here V1, V2 and V3. Okay, so by applying this KVL is equal to 0, the total voltage added, then that is equal to 0. So Vs here minus to plus, here plus to minus, then plus to minus, here plus to minus sign. So all those things are another sign, or this Vs is also another sign, so they are added. So V1 plus V2 plus V3 minus Vs is equal to 0. Okay, that is clear to you. Now see, this is the one type of figure. See here, the sign, there is two voltage sources Vs1 and Vs2. In between that, R1 resistance and R2 resistance are connected with a closed loop with the voltage sources V1 and V2. Okay, it is clear to so to you. So see here the sign, in this case the negative sign first and then positive sign, negative sign first and then positive sign. So they are equal in sign, so they are added, that means they are in positive signs. Okay, so here also this is positive then negative, this is positive then negative, so both are in opposite sign and both are in the that sign. Okay, so please add all these things, then you will find all these things. So here see, this Vs1 and V2 are added, and R1 and Vs2 are added in the right hand side, and those two are added in the left hand side. If you want to transfer this side to this side, then actual answer is our 0 by applying this KVL only. Okay. So now one question is given here. See, it is asking about to find the voltage V1 and V2. So there is V1 and V2 voltage. So this is asking to find the voltage V1 across the resistance 6 ohm and the across resistance 4 ohm. So by applying this KVL only, we find the voltage V1 and V2. So apply here. So we are going this side. So this 30 voltage is minus sign. So minus 30 plus V1, and this is the plus sign because if it is going like that. Okay. So it is 20 volt minus V2, that is equal to 0. So see here, this is the one circuit now. So current will be 1. So actual one amount of current, that is I will be flowing across this circuit. Okay. So we are taking here this voltage, convert this voltage to current into resistance. So V is equal to I into R, I into 6 plus this 4 into I. So how minus term will become here? See, due to the current sign conversion. How? Because it is going like this now. So this is minus to plus, this is plus to minus. So one minus sign will be placed over here. So after calculating this, we will get I is equal to 1 ampere. So put here, if 1 ampere will be flowing over here, then 6 into V1, sorry, that is not 6 into V1, V1 is equal to 6 into I. So 6 into 1 is equal to 6 volt, like that V2 is equal to 4 volt. Okay. So this is the answer. Now come to the voltage division rule. See here one voltage sources which is connected to a voltage a resistance R1 and resistance R2, and both the resistance are in series manner. So that's why equivalent resistance is equal to R1 plus R2. If we want to find the voltage V1, then total voltage into that resistance R1 divided by total resistance. It is opposite to that the current rule. Okay. And like that, if you want to find the voltage V2, then voltage sources Vs into same resistance R2 divided by total resistance, that is R1 plus R2. Okay. So like that in case of your inductive case. So here two inductors are in series manner, so they are added to each other equivalently L1 plus L2. Like that, to find the V1, then total voltage into same inductance divided by total inductance. See here, V1 is equal to Vs into same inductance divided by total inductance. Like that, if you want to find the V2, so Vs is equal to Vs into same inductance L2 divided by L1 plus L2. So in case of capacitance, see here, that is opposite to both the case, inductance and resistance. So if you want to find the voltage across the V1 or capacitance C1, then it is opposite voltage multiply opposite capacitance multiply with the same voltage sources divided by total capacitance. Okay. Like that, if you want to find V2, then opposite capacitance with that voltage source divided by C1 plus C2. Okay. This is the rule. Now come to the conclusion. See, there are 4-5 conclusions are given. So first conclusion is field theory can be applied for low and high frequency application. Okay. So for high and low frequency application, we only apply the field theory. Okay. In the field theory, accurate results are obtained, but developing mathematical equation is complex. So the mathematical equation is complex, but here accurate result will be got. Okay. and the network theory is applied for any low frequency application. In the network theory, approximate results are obtained and developing mathematical equations simple. Okay, and KCL KVL fail for high frequency applications, so we need not apply the KCL and KVL equation for high frequency apply. Note, there are some important note, please keep it on your mind. So KVL and KCL fail for distributed parameter. In the distributed parameter, electrically it is not possible to separate resistance, inductance and capacitance. So we have already seen the distributed network and lumped network. So in case of the transmission line, long and medium transmission line, there is a distributed parameter. So resistance, inductance, capacitance are in distributed nature. In this network theory, we are only consider the small networks, that's why they are not distributed, they are in the lumped manners. That's why we are going to implement KCL KVL in our network theory, but not it is implemented on your power system analysis. Okay, now see, Ohm's law can be applied for lumped, linear and distributed parameter. So only here Ohm's law can be applied only. Okay, or KCL KVL are applied for lumped parameter, non-linear or on unidirectional, bidirectional, time variant and invariant system only. The KCL and KVL equation are applied. Okay, so see here this figure. This is the one type of diode and resistance connected to voltage sources. So this is our lumped network or non-linear network. So here KVL, Kirchhoff's voltage law, can be applied. So see here, this is the one another figure. So voltage sources is connected to a resistance, inductance and capacitance. So here lumped nature, they are separated by each other, so they can apply the KCL and KVL or Ohm's law can be applied here. Okay, so for total voltage is equal to I, that amount of current will flow here, so I into R plus L di divided by dt plus 1 by C integration of I dt for capacitor. Okay, so those are all Ohm's law, or this is the lumped network. So this is also lumped network, one voltage versus one resistance is connected. So this is also lumped network, but here see all the resistance are equally distributed on the network, so it is not a lumped network, it is a distributed network. So here Ohm's law, KCL KVL are not going to implement here. Okay, or this is the transmission line. So here transmission line, the capacitance effect is from the transmission line to ground, so they are distributed in all over the transmission line, and inductance, resistance also distributed. So here we are not going to apply the KCL KVL or Ohm's law. Okay, so see here one question is given, it is asking to find equation inductance, right, the value of equivalent inductance in AB. So this is the wall network, it is like as our resistance case. So we are going to added or subtracted or all those things by seeing the parallel or series manner. So see, this is the another point 1 A and another point B. So here we are taking A point here and A point here, B point here. So this inductance and this inductance are in parallel manner by observing this. Okay, because of this A is connected to over here, here also, here also, here. Okay, like that this B point will be connected here and here and here. Okay, so they are in the parallel manner, L are parallel manner, here also L are parallel manner. So for 3L, equivalent L is equal to L divided by 3, here also L divided by 3. Now all the three inductance are connected in parallel manner, a series manner, so they are added. So after adding this L by 3 plus L by 3, then you will get 5L by 3 as a equivalent inductance here. So this equivalent inductance and this inductance are in parallel manner, so taking parallel, then you will get our answer is 5L divided by 3 across the AB point. Okay, so this is your answer. Now come to another question. So it is asking to find the equivalent capacitance with respect to AB. So this is the point A and this is the another point B. So it is asking to find the equivalent capacitance in between the point A and B. So see here, this point D and this point D and this point D are in the same. So they are connected in same manner. So here, if they are connected in same manner by using the bridge principle. Okay, so by using the bridge principle, that is 3 into 1 is equal to 3 into 1. So they are equal. Okay, so now apply this principle here. So these 3 farad and 1 farad are in parallel manner. 3 farad and 1 farad are in parallel. Here 3 farad and 1 parallel, so they are added. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Here also 3 plus 1 is 4. So 4 and 4 are connected in now what manner? Series manner. So for series manner, 4 divided by 2, that is equal to 2 farad, and the 10 capacitance is here. So now 10 capacitance and 2 capacitance is connected in parallel manner. So by taking this parallel, then our conclusion is, or our answer is 12 farad across the A point and B point. Okay, so it is now complete for today. That's it. If you have any doubt, then ask me on the comment section. I will give you an answer. Okay, so thank you for today.